In this video, first let's work on the creation of a simple standalone project which prints the log in the console. Then let's cover the Docker part. Here I have created a Java project name as console Docker application. Let's run the application. Yes, the expected output was available in the console log of the application. Let's create an executable jar to run the Java application in the terminal. To do that, it requires Maven plugin to build the application. To add the Maven plugin, go to the pom.xml and add the required Maven artifact. Let's add build tag, and then add plugins tag. Inside plugin tag, add plugins. Inside that, add group ID and artifact ID. Group ID should be org.apache.maven.plugins. An artifact is Maven jar plugin. Now we need to add the main class of the Java application, because it was required by the Java command to know which class it has to run while execution of the Java application. Here we need to add the main class of the Java application. The path of the main class is org.example main. So finally, we added the configuration for building the Java application to generate the executable jar. To run the Java application, you need an executable jar. To do that, go to the project working directory and type maven package. The mvn package command package the classes in distributable format and create jar in the target folder. The command was successfully completed and jar was created in the target folder of the project root directory. Let's verify the jar was created or not. To do that, go to the project root directory and move to the target folder. Yes, the jar was successfully created. Let's run Java application. To do that, go to the terminal and go to the project root directory and go to the target folder. And type java-jar and the jar name. Java command is to execute the Java program. On executing the Java command, the result came as running inside the Docker container, which came as expected. Let's move on to the Docker part. To proceed further, the Docker has to be available. To verify that, type docker v, which lists the Docker version installed. If not available, go to Docker official website and install Docker. To run a Java application inside a Docker container, it requires JDK installed in the Docker container. To get the JDK image, go to the Docker Hub and find the OpenJDK. Here in our case, we are going to use the OpenJDK and version 8 as our base image. First, to create an image, Docker file is required. To create that, go the project working directory and create a file named as Dockerfile. Dockerfile build images by reading the instructions from the file. A valid Docker file must start with a from instruction. The from instruction initializes a new build stage and sets the base image. In our case, it was JDK image and Java 8 version was used. Let's create a directory inside the file system of the image at the path user/apps. Let's move the working directory to the user/apps. Let's copy the jar file from the target folder to the working directory of the file system, which is user/apps. Now we are inside the working directory and copied the jar from the project working directory target folder. Now we are ready to run the application. cmd is the command that run when your container starts. Here we need to give the command to run the Java application. So we need to give Java jar and the jar name to execute the application when the container starts. Let's create an image from the created Docker file. Docker build command was used to create the image. To do that, type docker build t image name. And here the dot specifies the location of the Docker file. It was located in the project working directory, so dot specifies the current directory. Let run the command. The command ran successfully and image was created. Type Docker images to list images available. Look at the list of the images. Print app image was available and ready to run. Docker run command starts the container. Here, the print app was the image which was created earlier. On the execution in the background, Java command was executed. As you see, the output, running inside the Docker container message, was printed in the console. Finally, we deployed a Java application inside the Docker container and executed the application.